Hello everyone, welcome back to the Health Formula Show. Today is episode 382 and is a very, very important one because we are diving into something that has become way too normal. Painkillers. They are in everyone's handbag, medicine cabinet, gym bags, and sure, they may seem harmless, but what most people don't realize is that they come with a price, and that price is higher than you think. Now, painkillers, they are not the enemy because they can be incredibly useful in emergencies or short-term situations. But when they become something that you take regularly, so for example, think period pain or migraines, joint aches, workouts, injuries, and that is when we run into trouble. So in today's episode, we are going to break down exactly what that trouble looks like, because just managing the pain does not really fix the root of the problem. It's like putting a band-aid on top of a leaky pipe. We really need to talk about what this is doing to your body. Okay, so we are going to cover why painkillers can actually make pain worse long-term, how they damage your gut, your liver, your hormones, and your mood, why popping a pill for every ache is actually masking something deeper, and what you can do instead, to actually fix the problem from the inside out. So let's dive in. Now, most people don't think twice about taking a painkiller. You've got a headache, you take one. Period pain, take two. Sore after the gym, you pop a couple before, you even feel the ache. But here's what most people don't know. Because painkillers, they don't heal anything. They simply block the signals that tell your brain something's wrong. And so when you keep doing that over and over and over again, you actually start suppressing your body's natural warning system. So you stop listening to the signals that, something deeper is going on. It's like if your fire alarm went off, for example, instead of putting out the fire, you just took the batteries out of the alarm. Eventually that fire is going to spread. And then you also have the rebound pain and the altered pain. Because this is very, very shocking to me. Long-term use of certain painkillers, especially like ibuprofen, for example, or paracetamol, they can make your pain worse over time. And it's called the rebound pain. So your body gets used to having that chemical suppression of pain. And then when it wears off, the pain comes back even stronger. And that is why people often say things like, oh my God, I can't go a day without taking it. Or if I don't take it before the pain starts, then it's too late. Guys, that's not normal. That is a sign that your body's natural pain regulation has been altered. So that is something that we need to bear in mind as well. And now let's talk about what these medications actually can do to your gut. So like non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, they can really damage the gut lining, even after just a few doses, and they increase intestinal permeability, which is also known as leaky gut. And that means that undigested food particles and toxins can now leak into your bloodstream from your gut. And as I said, this is called leaky gut, and it's a huge trigger for systemic inflammation, immune issues, and even autoimmune conditions. So you might start with joint pain, and then you end up with IBS, with skin breakouts, with anxiety, with fatigue, whatever it may be, because your gut lining was silently being damaged behind the scene. And another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that gut issues don't always show up as digestive symptoms. So you might not have the bloating, you might not have the gas, your digestion might seem totally fine, but if you're dealing with things like joint pain, if you're dealing with migraines, with fatigue, with mood swings, skin issues, or even hormonal problems, your gut might still be at the root. And that is because your gut is not just about digestion, it really isn't. That's a part of it. It's your control center for immunity, for inflammation, and even pain. So when your gut lining becomes too permeable, as I said, leaky gut, then the undigested food particles will leak into your bloodstream, and then your immune system freaks out. It sees these things as foreign invaders and it launches an inflammatory response. This is very well documented. And this is why so many people with gut issues experience chronic symptoms outside the gut, like stiff and painful joints, like your body is constantly in attack mode, creating systemic inflammation that affects everything from your energy to your skin to your pain threshold. And if you think that doesn't apply to you, if you've ever been exposed to tap water, for example, you've been exposed to the chlorine, the fluoride, the heavy metals in tap water, maybe antibiotics, even if you just took one dose of antibiotics, the contraceptive pill, alcohol, painkillers, or other medications, chronic stress, all of that affects your gut microbiome. It has been altered. That's the reality, and our over time, that can lead to the breakdown of your gut lining and then the symptoms that follow. You go in with joint pain and you're given painkillers. You go in with skin rashes to your doctor and you're given a steroid cream. But no one looks at why your immune system is overacting in the first place. And at Synergize, this is one of the first things that we investigate, especially if you're dealing with chronic inflammation or unexplained pain. Like, healing your gut is not just about improving digestion. It's one of the most powerful ways to calm down the immune system, to reduce inflammation in your entire body, and to help your body get back into balance. And then we also need to talk about the liver, because your liver's job is to process and eliminate toxins, and medications are one of the biggest sources. When you take painkillers, your liver gets overwhelmed because it has to prioritize processing those chemicals instead of doing its regular job, like hormone metabolism, like breaking down fat, like clearing out environmental toxins that we're being exposed to every single day. And an overburdened liver, that means more symptoms, from hormonal imbalances to acne, fatigue, weight gain, mood swings, not being able to sleep in a way that is not interrupted throughout the night. So we need to be real. Like, painkillers might make life easier in the short term, but they are not a solution. They are a band-aid. You're putting a patch over a leaky pipe, and the damage underneath just keeps getting worse. So think of it this way, like, you're constantly taking painkillers for headaches, but nobody's checking your magnesium levels. Nobody's checking your hydration, your sleep, your hormones. Maybe you're using pain relief for period pain, for example. But no one is supporting your liver. Nobody is balancing your estrogen levels. Maybe you're treating joint pain, but your gut is inflamed. Your diet is triggering you and your stress is through the roof. Like, these symptoms are messages. And when we silence them, then what happens is that we miss a chance to actually fix what's wrong. So what is the alternative? Well, step one, we need immediate relief, right? Like, if you're in pain, we need immediate relief. So we choose natural alternatives that reduce inflammation without the chemical burden. So let me take you through my top 6 natural alternatives. Ginger. Research shows that it could be just as effective as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories for inflammation. Second one is turmeric. Right? Curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory with lots of studies behind it. Third one is white willow bark. Works very, very similarly to aspirin, but natural. We have valerian root as well. It calms the nervous system and it reduces nerve sensitivity. Then we have magnesium. You want the really good quality magnesium, okay? Not magnesium oxide. This again really helps calm pain signals by blocking NMDA receptors. Then we have one of my favorites, proteolytic enzymes. These help break down inflammatory proteins in the body, and so it supports faster recovery, especially if you take them on an empty stomach. There are many brilliant natural formulas out there that combine all of these, so you don't have to take like a bunch of different supplements, and in high potency, and they are great for occasional use. But again, even if they are natural, they are not getting to the root cause. They are just managing the symptom. They are not healing the cause. So step 2 is to address the root cause. And this is where functional medicine shines. Like, you run the right labs. Let's say you run a comprehensive stool test to look at the microbiome, a full hormonal panel, like the Dutch test, for example, an inflammation test. Think, the omega-3 to 6 ratio, maybe a toxin or heavy metal test. That is how we peel back the layers. We don't guess, we test. And I know that this can sound a little bit overwhelming, especially if you've never run labs before and if you don't know where to start. And that's why at Synergize, we offer a free call where we go through your health history, all of your symptoms, and then we help you figure out which lab is the best fit for you. All you have to do is go to paulabenedict.com/call. And once we've got the full picture, then we put together a personalized plan for you. We remove what doesn't belong there, and then we rebalance the deficiencies, and we help your body heal, not just cope. Guys, what I'm trying to say is that this isn't about never using a painkiller again, but it's about understanding, that you have to pay a price for it. It comes with its consequences and what they are really doing, and what's being left untreated underneath. It's about choosing long-term healing over short-term relief. And if this episode made you rethink a few things, especially your medicine cabinet or your daily habits, please share it with someone that you care about, because these conversations really do matter. And as always, before you go, take a moment to acknowledge yourself for wanting to become the healthiest version of yourself. Before you head off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a weekly episode. We cover everything from functional medicine to gut health to hormones to weight loss to skin health to natural beauty, you name it. All of the topics that truly matter. And if there's something that you would love me to cover, just drop it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.